O tome kakvog potencijala ima nova aplikacija Instagrama Threads i može li da postane ozbiljan konkurent Twitteru, razgovaram sa B2B tech influencerom i industrijskim analitičarem Evanom Kirstelom. Hello, Evan, and welcome to Bloomberg Adria Connect.
Thanks for having me. Great to be back.
So for starters, as someone who uses social media both for fun and for business, what are your first impressions about the Threads app?
Well, as someone who's been on Twitter for 15 years and has 350,000 followers, you look at Threads and it's exactly what you would expect. It's a perfectly executed clone of Twitter. And it's good. Frankly, I've been very disappointed with the demise and the chaos and all of the disruption happening on Twitter. So many people like me are looking for an alternative with less drama, perhaps. And that's what it is today.
Now, how much business potential does this app have compared to Twitter? Can it really become a serious competitor to this social platform?
Well, Twitter has many competitors now, things like Blue Sky, which is Jack Dorsey's new Twitter-like initiative for distributed social media. But yes, I think given Meta's backing and its reach and its checkbook, it can be a serious competitor, not just for eyeballs, but for advertisers. And that's where Twitter is really falling down. Most of the blue chip advertisers that had been on Twitter have pulled back. Really, 80%, I think, of their revenue has been lost from those advertisers. And Meta knows how to do advertising. They know how to work with advertisers, sell advertising, and bundle it. And I think that's going to be the big battle, not so much individual users as those advertising eyeballs.
And Evan, after all, Meta does have a very successful track record with copycat products, such as Stories, which was taken from Snapchat, then Reels, which should emulate TikTok. So what does the Threads launch tell us about Meta's vision and future plans? Do you think they're just focusing on things that work rather than grand visions such as Metaverse, given how quiet lately they have been when it comes to Metaverse?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They're focusing on the basics. It's extremely lucrative for them to create an app like Threads, given they have all the infrastructure, the back-end processes, the support and safety teams in place, and they're striking while the iron is hot. This is a very difficult time for Twitter. It's possible Twitter will have to go into some kind of reorganization, Chapter 11, in a year or two, based on their current trajectory and based on their debt that they're currently holding. And so this is a very opportunistic and timely move by Zuckerberg.
I just want to hear a little bit more on Metaverse. And do you think that they gave up on this idea, or is just on standby?
Well, the Metaverse as a concept is really intriguing. On one hand, the problem is we don't have devices that are really well accepted and embraced by consumers. Oculus is, exciting for some with games and related apps, but it's not a device I'm going to wear for more than 20 minutes personally. And I think they doubled, tripled down on Metaverse, invested, billions, maybe tens of billions in the concept, and have seen no traction, no results with the people that matter, the consumers. And so, the shareholder sort of revolt at Meta led Mark to double down on efficiency, on cost savings, and doubling down on the current business, which, of course, is red hot. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp is a bright spot. So this is another tool in the toolbox for Mark to build his empire.
No, Evan, there is a serious roadblock for Threads when it comes to garnering users. The app hasn't been launched in EU due to data collection and privacy concerns and legal limitations. So how do you see Meta handling this? Will they even be able to handle this?
Well, Facebook has shown itself very, deft at navigating politics, and even when they make mistakes of their own doing or others doing, they've been able to overcome those. So I suspect they will spend their way through the policy and navigate their way through the policy issues in the EU and come to some sort of resolution. But of course, the growth areas around the world, whether it's India, South America, elsewhere, we'll see that it's a popular app. And again, they have the dollars to invest in creators, invest getting influencers on the platform, and invest in advertising the platform to its current base. So I wouldn't count Mark out. We've done that already many times over the years.
And finally, we cannot end this conversation without Twitter. Q2 earnings are still not out, but last time we talked, advertisers and their revenue were plunging. Has there been any turnaround, or do you see moves such as limiting the number of tweets one can read as another hole Musk is digging for himself and the company?
Yeah, well, of course, it's privately held, so we really don't know the exact numbers under the hood. I mean, I remain hopeful and optimistic. There's a very loyal community on Twitter, of which I'm a part. And, Twitter is a verb, to tweet. I mean, there aren't many products that are verbs. And I think if they can get their act together and make more rational decisions and get some brand safety, get some of those advertising dollars back, it has a long future ahead of it. Again, if Twitter didn't exist, we'd have to create something like it, because which Threads has done.
Well, maybe Meta created something like that, but we'll have to see. Thank you very much for this conversation.
Thanks as always. Great chatting.